So who stays in this competition? Sandra. Thank you so much. You've got to focus, you've got to push, you can't rest on just being beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you so much. You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model.
Tyra, with all due respect to you, I think there's something you should know about what was said this week by Talia. Before you sent Courtney home, I think you should know that Talia did express that she did not want to be in this competition anymore, and she did not feel that this was a wise career move on her part. It's quite unfair for someone who doesn't even want to be here to remain in the competition.
You know what I think is unfair? That you're saying this, and not Talia. Talia did not say that to me. She did not say that to the judges. So what is truly unfair is you saying that to me.
I apologize.
So the judges have made their decision. Take your place, Celia.
I got your wig, ho, ha ha. You're mad, Miss Wikiana. Miss Wikiana.
I want to talk about America's Next Top Model, obviously, because it's one of the biggest shows.
And we grew up, we watched that show, yeah.
One of the biggest competition shows. Looking back now, is there anything you would change about the show? Because obviously there's a lot of talk about it now, and even though it's iconic and we love it, but it's being brought back into the conversation.
But viewers are still not done with it. Ever since the start of the pandemic, when people started binging old TV shows, Top Model has been having another moment in the spotlight. Some viewers are turning to TikTok, YouTube, and podcasts, sharing how some of those throwback shows suddenly feel different.
I don't think I was cruel at all. 100%. I was correct.
So you stand by everything you said?
I do. If I hurt anyone's feelings, and even the viewers' feelings for watching something like this take place, then I apologize for that. Because I'm not in the business to hurt anyone or make enemies or make people feel bad. That's not who I am as a person.
We look back at America's Next Top Model, and it's easy to say, oh, it was problematic, it's not woke. In 2003, we did not have the word woke. We didn't really have that language, and so we weren't able to sort of pinpoint the problems inherent in the series in the way that we are now.
Get up and back of the girls now and stand on one foot. Go stand on one foot. And jump up and down on one foot.
Oh, God.
I'm not kidding you. Go on, jump up and down and hysterically laugh and look at me and do it.
God.
No, God, do it. Come on. Keep it going.
TV, because you have to reach a broad amount of people. It looks like you landed from another planet because you have so much teeth. The teeth thing, you got to kind of really work on that breaking into the big grin thing.
Let's see your unretouched shot.
It's like a Hitchcock film. Go back and forth really fast to see what I mean. Ha, hoo, ha, hoo. I don't like the little pretty girl next door, Pekingese punch look in the face.
So what are your thoughts on it looking back?
Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting because I started America's Next Top Model as a very early voice about diversity and inclusion.
I think the public is really interested in models, but we could have easily been a cheesy model reality show. I think the subject of it is secondary to the crew and the integrity that we had. We weren't trying to make TV like just crazy TV to watch. You know, I wanted to make sure that the show stuck to the truthfulness in the modeling industry. I was like, this is not Fear Factor modeling. They're not gonna bungee jump and take a picture. That would never happen in the modeling industry. You know, so just all of that integrity. And then we tried to treat it almost like a movie. Where we begin scenes and end scenes very strong as if it was a scripted scene, even though nothing is scripted, all the way down to how the film looked. I sat with the post-production people and made sure the film had a certain quality so it didn't look like video, that it looked a little bit more like film. Just every little aspect of it, I think, raised the bar for reality television, and that's why we coined the phrase dromality, because it's more of a drama than a reality show. People kind of rolled their eyes and kind of just said, oh, whatever. Even the modeling industry, you know, I would hear little gossip things and they'd be like, why is Tyra doing that? And then when this show came on television, people were like, oh, wow. And I think that America has a new respect for models and what they go through. Before they thought it was just pretty girls and, you know, they didn't even think models had personalities. But now they see people crying and cheering and acting out, acting a fool or being victims of all different types of things. And I think it humanized the whole fashion industry and models.
We opened so many doors, and my partner's Korean American. I'm sorry. His wife is Korean. He is Chinese. His kids are half. So he's Chinese American. There's a reason why I keep doing that, because they have a fun name. They combine both of their names.
Combine it. Okay.
Yeah. Private stuff. But
I was like, that's their own family thing.
I'm the godmama of the kids. They do something fun. I'm not going to say what it is because it's private, but they combine. So that's why I get it confused sometimes. But no, he's Chinese American. His name is Ken Mok. And so it was our mission to be diverse and to push back when we were told that we couldn't be as diverse.
In a statement to Impact, Ken Mok, in part, told us, quote, when Tyra and I created America's Next Top Model in 2001, we wanted to use the series as a tool for positive change. Tyra and I had one goal in mind, to change the definition of beauty. Back then, the fashion industry lacked any sort of real diversity.
And so it was our mission to be diverse and to push back when we were told that we couldn't be as diverse.
It's rougher being an Asian than a black woman. Tyra has told me right up front.
The fashion industry is all about race.
Really?
You see Asian girls on the covers of magazines, and I'm not talking about Lucy Liu, she's an actress. So with you entering this fashion world, you would be the underdog.
Before I decided to enter into this industry, I never really thought about my ethnicity. She said, there's less slots for you in any runway show, editorial, fashion magazine than any single other race you can even think of right now. I'm half Japanese and I'm half Caucasian, but I've never done anything that made me associate myself as an Asian.
I don't know how much April lives out her Japanese culture in her life, but her Japanese heritage might be that one thing that's going to give her the edge.
I'm getting a sense you've got this negativity towards your ethnicity.
I'm half white and half Asian, okay? Just because I haven't identified myself as an Asian or as a white person, that doesn't mean I'm rejecting it.
April doesn't know what to call herself. So that's what kind of bothers me about her.
100 kisses, Tyra.
Oh, God!
We have to practice.
No, in this moment, I only use it. Don't practice, okay?
Well, what if we don't get to practice anymore?
No sé.
So purple? No. So do you want me to be like that?
No, I don't like it. We are almost done here.
You what?
You understand?
No.
You think, oh my God. Okay. And I say, I don't like it.
Good.
Jada's partner, Nacho, tells Jada that he doesn't even like black girls. She's like, are you serious?
No one should be treated like that. I would hate if I had that guy.
Like the rabbit?
He doesn't want to help me. I'm worried about tomorrow's shoot because I have to make out with this guy who's an idiot and a jerk, and he says he doesn't like black girls. I was like so excited to go to Spain, and now, you know, my first night, it's just like, okay, that's kind of ruined. This guy is a jerk, and I don't want to talk to him, I don't want to look at him, and I certainly don't ever want to kiss him. I feel so sick right now.
Jada, can I tell you something? First of all, you can't cry because we don't have time to fix your makeup.
Sorry.
What's the problem?
I can't do this. I'm crying because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that I have to kiss this guy.
It was like watching a car crash. Oh, God.
That was a big old open sore.
That was appalling. I mean, it's...
You obviously cannot act. You just fell flat on your face, really.
He told me that this is the guy that said that he didn't want to kiss a black girl.
He doesn't like black girls.
Oh.
That guy said that?
He told me that to me the night before, and I feel like he's crawling in his skin just to kiss me.
Bottom line is you've got to take control.
Exactly.
It's not about him. He's just an extra.
That should not have stopped her from doing the job that she was sent there to do.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Why did you choose the cowboy hat?
It's more on the simple side compared to the other hats, so that I can go crazy with accessories and express myself without being cliche.
Yeah, I think you look beautiful. I think everyone probably pegged you as going for the typical African hat.
Yeah, I feel half African. I'm not feeling it.
You have this intensity to prove your sort of Africanness, and I think that sometimes it's overbearing.
There's a different way of explaining yourself and being defensive, and you're being very defensive, and it's not attractive.
Just because we had to talk about, you know, Afrocentricity before, and it's kind of misunderstood.
I'm all about, like, expressing yourself and your culture, but it's still done in a fashion way. You want your outfit to be, look at me. And this outfit is, look over there. Here's your best shot.
Exciting. We're all happy to be here. How many girls were at, like, tryout?
It was like 95% black girls. It was all black girls.
Really?
I didn't realize it was gonna be like that. Like, whenever I went, I was like, okay.
I have my opinion, and I try to stay to it.
I am the most uber conservative, Republican, hardcore Baptist you can ever imagine in your whole life.
Bitches run through all the racks. Babe, put me stuff tore up, bitch.
Puppet.
It's uneducated. I'm uneducated? I don't know, are you? Why I'm uneducated? You know what, I really don't have time to waste. I went to a Red Book top 150 school, bitch. Look it up. That's nice. And my name is Brenda, not bitch. You uneducated and you ignorant and you rude. You're the one to talk, okay? So shut the hell up. Stupid ass bitch.
You know how I feel about this whole thing? It's none of your business.
It is my business if she's taking a spot in this house when her heart's not in it and other people's are.
It was just none of your business. The only person that should have said something was Courtney.
You're contradicting yourself right now because you're saying that it's nobody else's business but Talia's, but then you're saying if anyone should have said something, it was Courtney.
Yeah, not failure. I
You don't have
said
to raise
not
your voice.
failure. I do have to raise my voice because it's not getting through your head.
I don't understand Sandra sometimes.
She just wants to come off like she's dumb. Maybe it's just the language issue.
You're just restating something you've already said that I
I'm not
quoted.
restating something. Do not go there with me. Do not go there with me. Do not go there because I'm not the one that you play with. Do not go there with me, okay? Don't you go there with me.
We don't understand Sandra because the second you start rushing your words or using bigger language, she goes crazy. Like, she starts, like, malfunctioning.
You are 25 years old. 25. You're 25 years old. You act so immature. Grow up.
You're 25. You're 25. I can't fight with her. I can't even argue with her. I'm just, like, dumbfounded.
So from people didn't even know what a plus size model was like 20 years ago. They're like, what is that? And even now when we look at what a plus size model is today, our girls were skinny. And even back then, designers, that my models back then would go on go-sees and the designer wouldn't even have clothes that fit them. So it was just being on the beginning of something and pushing through. Your body tends to photograph slightly athletic and you don't have a lot of body fat, which is a good thing for a model. They don't really want you to have a lot of body fat. But in doing this, you need a little extra, you know, to do the pin-up-y thing. So that was your struggle. So you needed to exaggerate, like they're saying, push it out, push it back, because you don't have those curves.
Do you have to be covered all the time? Like, why can't you want to be covered? This is saying, oh, I've got hips, so I'm covering them up. Why are you crying, Robin?
Robin is a fabulous girl, but you know what? She doesn't trust her own body.
Robin.
I don't know what she's doing in Paris.
I don't have a market here for Robin. You know, there's no market for plus sizes in France.
Robin, you were supposed to have a nude photo shoot. We don't have a photo for you this week, and why is that?
I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. My body is mine. I just didn't think that, you know, that is what I needed to do in order to get ahead.
I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't do it. I was sort of expecting this kind of, you know, Botticelli image. You know, I was sad that you just kind of didn't put yourself out there, you know, representing women of a different size.
It's clear that Robin doesn't have the personality to be a top model. She should be working at Avis.
She is a full-figured black woman.
Robin would represent a plus-size model. One problem that I do have with Robin, I think on the top she's not plus-size, and on the bottom she is.
Quite honestly, 26 is a little late to be busting into the top model game.
Robin's out as far as I'm concerned about being a supermodel.
No,
Absolutely not. This girl should not be the first one.
Well, that's my humble
Why?
Because I think next America's top model is not a plus-size model. I'm sorry, that's my opinion.
I like Robin. She's near perfection. I just wish her upper body was bigger and matched her lower body better.
Robin, first of all, is too old to be starting model.
She's huge. She's not going to be a top model.
She won't. That's the reality.
She should work for a car toppling company.
I think that you guys are the problem with America. I think you are the problem of why women are leaning over the toilets at this very moment and vomiting after they've eaten or taking laxatives after they've eaten. The full-figured market is changing.
This is not
personally my type of girl. The eating disorder thing is just a strong issue for me.
Drop the eating disorder. That's hearsay. She's extremely thin, which is what a haute couture model needs.
But it doesn't have to be, you know, America's quest for the prettiest anorexic either.
There's girls that look like this that are superstars.
I agree.
Linda Evangelista was a rail. Come on.
Linda Evangelista was never a rail.
Kate Moss, Twiggy.
Hey, it's unbelievable what's going on here. I'm seeing it. It's unbelievable.
Naima with her beautiful, creamy voice.
Her voice is really cool. Goes to the individual, whether you're a working mother, a young girl.
She's got the best body here.
She needs to lose 5 to 10 pounds.
They're all fat. The entire room is fat. I'm fat. You're all
I
fat.
kind of had to be tough all my life. My whole immediate family been involved in just a crazy life, and so I had to be tough, and I had to be the mama. I'm the mama.
Ooh, I had no idea. I thought
Baby, when she released those puppies, they were full-grown dogs.
What size did you tell me you are? A 12 or is it really a 14?
I feel like I got a bowling alley.
No, you don't.
I don't know why all the girls were so nice looking, and here I am looking like I work at Home Depot.
You have to understand too, Takara, if you were to do catalogs, you know, for plus size models and stuff like that.
This is high fashion. This is not catalog. I gotta prove myself to the high fashion.
Do you think that I'm going to be able to get a rack like this loaded with clothes in your size?
You can't find something in my size, so I'm supposed to feel bad because
You're taking everything as a negative. I don't think that you realize how this whole modeling thing works. There's like no appreciation. All right, you got pinched. Oh my God.
I know, oh my God.
Let me see. Maybe some tape. Can you believe it? We're gonna have to really severely strap them down.
I've been disappointed with myself. I allowed other people to take my energy, that they would have made me feel so bad and ashamed.
You working?
I'm just trying to stay positive. And then everybody's like,
Even though they say that they welcome plus size model, you know that they don't pay as much attention to you, and you're handling yourself very well. You have one thing, let's hope it fits, and that's it. So you have a right to break down.
And she should make me feel like that, you know. Look what everybody else had on, and I know I can compare myself to everybody else, but damn.
It was just being on the beginning of something and pushing through. At that same time, I was still a working model. And still being told, oh, you're too fat, Tyra, you're too this, you're too that, you can't work if you can't do that. And hearing my friends have all this negativity and seeing what was in the way of them working. But I was still this like unique beauty crusader. I was also this person trying to get these models work. And I think at times they battled because I wanted them to get work, but even more important to me was being a beauty crusader. And so what ends up happening is that it's a clash, right? I'm saying, oh, I want all these unique beauties, but you need to change that and you need to change that because I have these agents in the background saying, yeah, you want us to sign these girls, but she needs to change this and she needs to change that, and that's how she's gonna work.
Most of you, that just means whitening your teeth. But for Joni and Danielle, the dentist is gonna do something about that snaggletooth.
I feel this is the only thing holding me back.
And for that gap, too.
The gap is staying, sucker.
And perfect your smile.
He's emotional right now.
What's wrong, Joni?
I'm happy, right? Your tears of joy. That's so cool. Aw, I never afford anything like that.
If we could go to the dentist for a checkup every year, we were lucky. I never got braces or anything like that. Perfect teeth, and that has been true for me.
You've heard about veneers. Do you know what they are?
Your teeth cap?
Yep. Basically what happens is each tooth is filed down and then a porcelain overlay is placed on top of it. We will remove these four.
Today?
We'll remove them today.
Oh.
You know, keep in mind that tonight is just the first step. You're not gonna like how you look. You're not gonna like how you feel. We're gonna get you back tomorrow though, and we're gonna have a nice set of temporaries ready to go for you. You're gonna look and feel fantastic.
Oh.
Ready to start?
Yeah.
This is something like I'll never forget, and it's definitely gonna change my life.
Danny,
perfect teeth.
About the gap.
I love my gap. The gap, I love the gap. The signature gap is staying in my mouth. That's who I am. The gap is staying, sucker.
My whole body is tingling.
Nice big deep breath through your nose.
Wow, dude. Oh, thank God. I felt that one, dude.
My teeth fit long.
The snaggle tooth is no longer.
I feel this is the only thing holding me back.
Process. It's a lot of work and a lot of stress.
If we'll be here all night.
That's what it takes.
And not only that, but I have to get up in the morning and be a model. I'm going to go have all my front 12 teeth grinded down to pencil points. I've been in that dentist's office for 12 hours. And I have to deal with it all day tomorrow. Look at my teeth. Look at my teeth. Look at my teeth. Overall today, I feel horribly sick, and I know I have to go back to the dentist tonight. I just am not, like, in the mood for it.
Oh, wait. So is something in the eye, or is it the glycerin?
I think that the glycerin got in it. I'm in so much pain, but sometimes you have to go through pain, you know, to be beautiful.
Close your eyes in between and open. Nice,
Right.
nice, nice.
Let's take a look and see how you are doing.
I get to go to Dr. Falcone's office. This process of getting veneers, it's a lot of work and a lot of stress.
You're putting them on now?
Yes. Now just bear with me. Once it snaps into place, we're all done. What you got now?
So, Danielle, you went to the dentist, but you refused to have your gap closed.
The gap is staying, sucker.
Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with the gap in your mouth?
Yes, why not?
This is all people see. It's Easy Reads Beautiful CoverGirl. It's not marketable.
Yeah, just a little bit is okay, but I don't want to completely close it.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree. Next name that I'm going to call, Sarah. Danielle. You'll get them teeth done?
All the way, completely.
I think all the way. Congratulations. You're still in the running towards becoming America's Next Top Model.
It's trying to piss me off, like all over again. The competition is getting really serious. And Tyra asked me to get the gap and my teeth closed. Easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl.
Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with the gap in your mouth?
Yes, why not?
This is all people see. It's Easy Reads Beautiful CoverGirl. It's not marketable.
I don't want to go home because I didn't get the gap closed. And then if it looks jank, then they really...
It's gonna work out fine. You might completely love it.
I doubt it. Like, I doubt it. I have to choose my gap or going home. I'm at the bottom right now. I feel like that is the biggest challenge that has ever faced me. Hey, Mama. I had to go home and call Mama. She is my strength. And I'm tripping. I always know that I can call my mom. It's taking me so long to become comfortable with my gap, and so I'm pissed off because like, it's either you close your gap or you go home.
Remember the girl from Texas did not want her hair cut because she loved her hair.
I had to think about it. It's like, okay, do I like my gap more than I like modeling?
Now you step up to the plate, sweetheart, and that's going to make the difference in your staying there or you leave. You call the shot on this one. What do you want?
Respect Tyra's opinion. I do take heed to everything that she's saying. So I gotta suck it up. I gotta bite my lip. I gotta get my gap closed. As much as I don't want to.
That's us before there. This is what you got now.
Oh my God.
So we didn't close it down all the way. If we close it down all the way, it will make them look
like chiclet. I'm gonna be in the mirror all night tonight.
Danielle.
Danielle, for me, you're the best.
That you talked about the gap. Let's see it. It's kind of there, but not really. Nice.
I like the way you rub that in, too. My gap is what makes me important.
I apologized for the issue with Danny and what happened. That was between a rock and a hard place for me because there were agents that would tell me she will not work with those teeth. It's just not going to happen. That's what they told me. And again, I could have just been quiet and let them handle it. But that's hindsight is 20/20 for all of us. It just so happens that a lot of the things that are 20/20 for me happened in front of the world.
Bull fucking shit. Me getting my gap closed is not opening any doors for me. You knew what you were doing for the show. People have told me one season that she got a gap created in a girl's mouth. Girl, that is absolutely ridiculous. What?
See, we love your teeth. And if you agree, we'd love to exaggerate that and take you a little bit more to Lauren Hutton.
Make it as big as you want it.
What's up? It's Danny here. Wow, what a crazy day yesterday with that video going viral. So this video is just to weigh in on everything. I appreciate all of the news outlets that reached out to see if I wanted to comment. I honestly didn't feel it necessary until late last night when I received a message from Slick Woods. Shout out to you, Slick. I knew in that moment, after reading her words, that I have a responsibility to address what really happened and to speak my truth. But let me tell you what this video is not. This is not a video to war against anyone. This is not a video to defame anyone's character. And this is not a video to discuss my relationship with Tyra. This is a video for me to speak my truth and to provide clarity and for me to address an issue that was done 15 years ago that carries weight and that clearly affected a lot of young girls in America after watching it. Before I get into the ins and outs of that episode, I want to take you guys back a little bit before we go forward so that everything makes sense and flows cohesively. I did top model listening to the wisdom of Elliot, my brother. Honestly, the greatest wisdom he could have ever given me, even though at the time I thought it was so dumb. He knew I wanted to get out of Little Rock really badly. And he was like, yo, you should do top model just to get out. I was like, I would never in my life do that. It's fake modeling. They humiliate girls. Terrible idea. He was like, yo, just do it to get out. It's a one-way ticket out to New York. Genius. Bingo. We're doing top model. With that being said, I had one goal in mind. The one goal was to get out of my hometown, to create a different, better life for myself. That was it. I wasn't concerned about challenges. I wasn't concerned about the things that would be set up in place to kind of deter me and to knock me off my game. I was so focused. I wasn't even hungry. I was starved to get out. You need to understand that, starved. So any and everything, the opposition that came my way, I was so deaf to it because I had a goal. And anyone that stood in my way of getting out of Little Rock was going to get bulldozered over, period. There were a few things that came up. Like the first one I think was my diction, my dialect, my accent, whatever you want to label it. When I'm filming and I'm in the middle of it, I had no idea that I sounded different than the rest of the girls. I'm like, all right, like, how do I fix it? You say I sound weird, how do I fix it? It wasn't until I got off of the show, went back home, and then I watched the show over and I was like, oh, it's just a matter of me enunciating my words. You know what I'm saying? Done, easy, fixed it, moving on to the next. Cut to that particular episode. Let's get into it about the gap. We were all going to the dentist as a whole. Me and Joni went first. We get to the dentist and the guy asked me, do you want to get anything done to your teeth? And I say, yeah, clean me up, whiten my teeth. He repeatedly asked me if I want to close my gap. No, I don't want to close my gap. Pushpin, none of this aired on TV. I'm giving you guys the behind the scenes, right? He kept asking me if I wanted to close my gap. Nah, bruh. Super cool. I'm super secure in my gap. Of course, like any other kid, I'd be lying to you if I said I grew up loving my long neck, my jawbone, and my gap. I did not. I hated it all. I used to cry and ask my mother for braces. We couldn't afford braces. What did my mother say to me? She reminded me that my two grandmothers, who I absolutely adored, had gaps. They're queens. You're just like your grandmothers. You know what? I learned to accept and love my gap. So on Top Model, when they wanted to close it, I was like, nah, fam, I'm good. Cut to, we're now in elimination. So I go forward. Tyra's like, why didn't you get your gap closed? I'm like, huh? She's like, I told you to get your gap closed. I'm like, no, you didn't. She looks off camera right to production, which none of you guys ever see. I look off stage, camera right to production. Kim Mott gives me one of these. In that moment, I knew what was happening. I knew that I was basically set up and not being told that Tyra wants me to get my gap closed so that it's good for TV, right? So in that moment, the 19, 20-year-old Danielle stood there realizing that it was my one-way ticket out on this side or keeping my gap on this side and going back to Little Rock, Arkansas. What you think I'm gonna choose, fam? So Tyra says to me, if I send you back to the dentist, will you get your gap closed? and I meet her with another question. So what you're saying to me is, if I tell you no, then you're gonna send me home tonight. Me and Tyra went and did that whole fiasco about 2 or 3 times, which you guys saw none of that on TV. What you saw is me coming up with a compromise saying that I'm okay with you closing it some of the way, but not all of the way. Let me explain something to you. The family that I come from, a family of hustlers, a family of go-getters, I was not going to allow something that is physical on my face to stop me from getting out to make a better life for myself. I had a laser-focused goal. Nothing or no one was gonna stand in my way. And it wasn't about copping out. It was about understanding what really carries weight and holds value in my life, and teeth was not one of them. I wasn't tight because of Tyra's comment about me not being able to model with a gap. I wasn't tight about Miss J's comment about leaving the gap wide open for the next girl. All of that was trivial to me. I've heard it all before. What I was tight about is them trying to play me and making good for TV. However, the me now and reading the comments and understanding the weight that it created in other girls who saw that. This is why this post is being made, because I want to address all of those young girls, because I've been using this time in quarantine to really go back and to love on and to nurture the little Danielle from childhood. So I'm gonna take this time to build up and to speak to all of my young queens that saw that episode, that were truly affected by Tyra's words. I want to speak to you right now. You're beautiful. And I'm not talking about a physical feature. It doesn't matter if you have a gap, stacked teeth, straight teeth, it matters not. It doesn't matter if you're black, brown, white, indifferent, other. It doesn't matter. What makes you beautiful is in here. It's a matter of your self-worth, high self-worth or low self-worth. And no one can establish that except you. So I'm speaking to all the little girls. And if I could love on all of you right now, I would. I want to remind you of your worth. You're a masterpiece. You were so loved. You were so adored, and you're beautiful. And it's not because someone higher up says that you're beautiful. You don't become a star because someone acknowledges your light. You are light. You are worth. You are valued. You are loved. Always stand in your truth and your power, and don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not. If you have a goal, go for it. Bulldozer any and everybody out the way that's standing in opposition of you. I love you guys.
Did you hold any sort of resentment against Law Roach for really just kind of like going in on that scene with the removing the wig and everything?
Yeah, I did, especially because, this, for some reason, I have shared this aspect so many times and people are completely fucking avoiding it. Even like, no shade to Vice or anything, but so many of these networks work around what I'm really trying to say, and they just focus on that narrative of like, oh, she had her hair shaved off, this story, this poor pitiful girl, alopecia this, alopecia that. It is the reason why I'm fucking crying. It's not because I was against them showing my bald head.
Yeah.
The truth is, I was told I was getting a wig as my makeover. I got to the salon thinking I was getting a wig. That's what they told me. And they said, hey, you know how we told you that we were giving you a wig? Law said this. Hey, you know how we said we were giving you a wig as your makeover? With his hands behind his back. And he said, psych, and takes out a fucking razor and says that we're bicking your head.
I'm sitting here and I'm nervous because everybody wants to know, what is this going to look like?
You look at Black Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. There you go, boo. Okay.
There you go.
I'm loving myself with the beard. Like,
I hate short hair on me.
But it's not short.
Just on me personally, like, I need to get used to it.
I am. I never thought getting my hair done would be such a long ordeal because I would never do this to myself.
Oh my gosh. I gotta relearn. Like, I have to reprogram my mind. I know it sounds so dramatic, but it really is a dramatic change.
It's already nicer, right, you guys?
Yeah.
It doesn't have that stick out on the side yet.
Yeah, over the ears.
It's like now
Yeah,
you can
that
see
over
your
the ears
cheekbones.
thing. Yeah.
Right?
Really brings out her face.
Brenda, you all right?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You're awesome. No, and seriously, that's the thing about being a model. You lose your right of
caring.
if you're going to work with Stephen Meisel and people like that, that it's all about giving you new looks constantly. Look at Linda Evangelista. You know what I mean? Constantly changing her hair. Because that's the one accessory you can always change. And the clothes, but the hair is really crucial. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, you guys won't tell me the truth.
A little shorter on the sides.
Oh, of course.
It looks damn straight.
Don't ask their opinion.
What do you think, Quentin?
Like an asymmetrical, like one side?
Yeah,
a little bit shorter?
maybe.
I can see that.
You can so do the mohawk now, Brenda, and it so looks cool on you.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta do something a little different. Okay, did you see what I just did?
Yes.
Like that? You can kind of just, you know, less is more, and take it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Brenda, you're gonna flip.
Yeah.
You just look so It looks edgy now.
That's
It's a
really
look
good.
now, right?
Yeah,
I hope
and
this-
don't, and listen to me, don't wash your hair every day.
Okay.
Like, you can wet it, but you need to, like, let it get dirty.
And it'll do way better. Yeah.
Let me have that razor right here.
I am now jealous of your haircut. Seriously, Brenda, you're amazingly good. Yeah.
I hope the stylists at my photo shoots know how to style it like you're doing it. That
They're
way it will
excellent.
look
I gotta tell you, they rock, they did great hair.
They do.
Really good.
I loved your bob. The other day, your long yellow bob. Yeah, they do good work.
They're really good.
This lady, she totally butchered my hair. It looks absolutely horrendous. No one was happy with it. Everybody thought it was ridiculous looking.
It's coming from my salon. This extension, what is that? Twisted Sister?
Love the idea of the huge blonde hair, but it looks horrible.
I want to ask you about Top Model because you were on the show when it was like the show.
Yes.
And I know that that's part of the trauma, but like, was it as they cut all your hair off? Like, can you talk about that experience and what it was like? Because that was before there were any rails on reality TV. Now, yes, reality TV is crazy, but the end of the day, you work for Bravo, I work for E, we're under the same umbrella. I know that at the end of the day, there are HR departments and people taking care of you. Like, they want reality TV to be insane, but they also want to make sure that you're okay.
Yes.
America's Next Top Model did not
care.
have that rail.
Nope. No.
Janice Dickinson didn't care. That's so shocking.
It's shocking.
Shocker. I'm so glad that she was not on my season.
Oh, good. Good.
I feel like she would have hated me and I would have been so sad, but then like pissed. I'd be like, you, Janice. She was just so mean. But
So mean.
yeah, the show, that was wild. They definitely messed with us a good bit. And they wouldn't show that part. And then they would just like record us, or me especially, being very angry after the weave they did. They put the weave in. They brought an outside specialist. It was some woman and her granddaughter was helping do the weave. It was terrible. So I got sores on the back of my neck. I had to get antibiotics from a doctor. It was like I was having an allergic reaction. So they took it out after a week and they had it put back in by someone else. And they didn't show that part. I had it for another week. So I already had the worst I was in People magazine, the worst makeover of Top Model history. Besides that beard weave, Jesus Christ, so stupid. And then I get the most best photos on the whole show. Brittany falls in the finale runway. And so I'm like, I've got this in the bag. Like, I should win. My CoverGirl commercial was kind of terrible. That's probably what did me in. But so they're like, well, you know what? We're going to do something that's never been seen before on Top Model. We're going to cut your hair off, both of you. So it was in the bathroom of the lobby of the hotel that we were filming in. She just like, here you go. And then they give Brittany a really cute pixie cut because they knew they were going to pick her when they did that.
Oh,
They had chosen. They knew. They just did it for funsies. And I got a Leonardo DiCaprio Titanic bowl cut. And they're like, oh, by the way, you lose, fly home from Africa in 4 hours.
Wait, so they cut your hair at the very end?
30 minutes before they told us who won and lost.
That is so fucked up.
After the finale runway, like, we went to the judging place and they literally were like, okay, we're going to cut all your hair off and then tell you who won. And so I was like, I'm going to win and I'll pay for an extensions. And they're like, Brittany's the winner.
Competition, you're actually the most handsome. Now that might sound like an insult, but what we're saying is it's kind of a boyish quality to your face, and that photograph's really strong. So to embrace that, I channeled an actress.
You called it this morning. You said you can cut my hair off. I don't care.
Your modeling will have to change with this. You have to go totally against what you have been raised to be.
This is fun.
Okay, that's good. Wow, that is
Wow, it already looks good.
You should calm down.
Whatever.
I just feel so masculine.
I'm not going to screw you over. You know I have your back, always.
Yeah.
I'm just going to round out the front a little bit so you can go on a little bit.
It wasn't just cutting an inch and a half of hair for me. It was the last straw in them completely trying to change who I was.
Rob's ready to cut your hair? Because we're going to start now.
I'm not gonna cut it today.
No.
I'm not gonna cut it. I told him I wasn't gonna cut my hair anymore, that I didn't think I needed to in order to be successful at this.
So you're not ready to cut your hair?
No.
You know, I really don't have time for this today, so you just gotta leave my set. Okay? Cassandra did not want to cut an extra inch off her hair. I said to her, do you realize by not complying with this haircut, where does that put you? And she said, well, I guess I'm gonna go home.
And I wrote a book with my mom. And in the book, I talk about that. I talk about some of the things on Top Model that in hindsight, and this is way before any of this stuff trended recently. This is a couple years ago. I was like, in hindsight, I should have still been that beauty crusader that is my heart and soul and why I started the show, to the millions of people that are watching the show, and then let the agents handle behind the scenes if that model wanted to fix teeth or whatever it is that they said that they needed to fix in order to work in this industry. And so that was like my big lesson, and I didn't need social media to tell me that. I realized that on my own and did a whole section of my book about that. There's another thing that we did, I think that was a big like whackness that I didn't see back in the day was we did a season in Hawaii. And Barack Obama had just won the presidency. Everybody was so proud about that. We learned the Hawaiians, when we were there, a lot of them were saying that, talking about Hapa. And I was like, what is Hapa? They're like, oh, Barack Obama's Hapa. Means he's mixed race. And then we're like, oh, maybe we should do a Hapa episode to explain what that is. So we had the models play mixed race. This is Malagasy in Japanese. It might not even be a necessary exact of what they've worn even in the past. It's a fashion interpretation of it. Oh, that's really beautiful.
We're definitely going to have to do a little bit of cutting.
Hair and makeup is definitely a long process today. All of us girls have to be painted and plastered with different colors. I mean, it's going to suck to have to scrub it off.
We have them play half Madagascar, half, I don't remember what the races were and the mixes and the races. And because I'm a woman of color, I thought I was celebrating skin color to say, this is beautiful. The industry and everything is telling you that a bleaching cream is what you should do. Lighter is best. All this type of stuff, you know, and me even knowing that me being a lighter skinned Black person has allowed me to do a lot of the things and burst open the doors because of my skin color and because of my green eyes and all that. I was like, you know, I'm going to show the world that color is beautiful and we're going to paint these models. When that episode aired, I don't know, was it 10 years ago? There was a backlash saying, what are you guys doing? Painting these girls Black, painting them brown, painting them. And I was like, oh my gosh. Back then, I was like, I think my skin is beautiful. I think all this is beautiful. And coming from a Black person, it's obviously not racist because I am saying that this is beautiful and paying homage. However, the mistake was that if somebody that has malintent sees me doing that, they'll think that their malintent way of darkening skin is okay. And so I was like, oh my God, it was like a awakening for me. And I had a talk show, like y'all have y'all show like this. Back in the day, I had a talk show and I did a whole segment on it and said, whoa, as much as I was trying to be woke and say my skin is beautiful and I'm going to paint people like my skin and darker skin and all this and show all these different races.
We're making you into a traditionally African woman with a head wrap.
Is definitely an exciting experience. I can't even be at home with my own son. I'm a black girl with a nose job, come on.
You're a Jackson.
It gives an excuse for people that have malintent. And so we apologize for that. Now, everybody didn't see the damn Tyra show. So 10 years later, you know, during COVID-19, people are quarantined and they're watching Top Model and they're seeing all these mistakes and things that we made. And so I think it is my job to not be mad at a younger generation that didn't see it. It is my job to apologize again because they didn't see it, right? They didn't see me do that. And so I have to continue to apologize. 10 years from now, there's gonna be a whole nother generation and there'll be some other reason. They'll be snowed in one day and watching Top Model. What the hell did she do? This 50-something-year-old woman, I have to apologize again because they didn't see this and what I'm doing now and what I've done, you know, over the years. So that's just the state of the world now that, you know, that people see content over and over again and they don't know that you've apologized and I don't fault them for that. America's Next Top Model was created. I created it to introduce diversity and inclusion into a world that was pretty much not representing that or representing it in the most minute ways. So that was the crux of why I created America's Next Top Model. It's why my partner Ken Mock and I, who's Chinese American, got up every single day and we made so many inroads. This is almost 20 years ago.
Right.
But at the same time, we were still operating in a world, I was still a model at the time, not a retired model yet, and still operating in this world that had so many rules.
Let's do it.
Carrie D, you're from Fargo, come on. I forgot. This is real modeling, guys, being cold as heck.
There's a point where my body just literally takes over. Like I feel like my skin and everything is just like pins and needles.
Touch your hair, put it underneath in the hair. Oh, this is pretty, girls. Okay, get the shot, get the shot.
But when the camera got on me, you know, I try to just shake those shivers away and not let it show on my face. But it was obviously cold.
Out.
I have a break.
Nice.
The momento.
Yeah.
It was so cold. Your breath is literally being taken away. You know, I just like concentrate, breathe.
Carrie D actually had to stop because she was so cold that she was kind of convulsive.
As a model, you need to tell people when you're past your limit. It wasn't just that she was cold. It wasn't just that her teeth were chattering. She had reached the moment of hypothermia.
How are the pictures, baby?
They look good.
Am I better? Am I getting good again?
You have to listen to your body and you have to tell us, okay? Because all we know is go, 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 go. But you have to tell us no.
So many, like, you know, I was trying to push boundaries, but was also torn to like try to make sure that these girls could work, you know? So it was a balance. It was like, oh, break beauty barriers, but yeah, I can break them all I want on the show. They'll graduate from the show and they won't work.
America's Next Top Model was sold as a golden ticket into the fashion industry, into the modeling world. That didn't always pan out.
It's a reality show! Hello!
It was never
Did
about...
I say anything of meaning on this show here today, this interview? It's a reality show!
Really? So that's the bottom line. It was not about making the next top model.
No, it's a reality show, and they had to come up with snappy episodics to fill in the time.
No one wanted to book me for their shows because I was viewed as like this reality star, and designers didn't want me walking in their show to take attention, if you will, off of their collection and onto myself. And so I knew very early on that, oh, top model has a stigma. I've already lived 20 years in the real modeling industry and gotten my ass handed to me. So I was never able to rise to the level that I could have or should have. What angers me the most is the conversation that Tyra had with me years later. She told me that, she's like, I knew that there were certain doors that you couldn't even get into because you did top model, and I did nothing about it.
One of the young ladies on the documentary, if you saw it, Danny, drop dead gorgeous. She was one of the winners, and she said something that I think is, well, I know it's very true. It's something that I try not to talk about a lot because I'm very grateful for where I am, but doing top model definitely puts a scarlet letter on your back. I mean, to know me, y'all knew me when you did, when you were with Wendy, y'all knew me as Eva Pickford. I changed my name to Eva Marcille, which is my legal middle name. But I changed it so that when I went to audition, I walked in rooms, I wasn't prejudged. They just saw a girl named Eva. It's not that uncommon of a name. So they see Eva M., let her read for the role. And so then I would get the role, and later they would realize, like, oh my God, that's that girl from that show. But I can tell you about 10,000 doors are closed. As, for sure.
I think it would be a good thing. Wouldn't be a bad thing. Why was it a bad thing?
Okay, can I tell you why? Yes. It's because we live in a new day. We live in a day today where to be a reality star is to be a Kim Kardashian. To be a reality star is to amplify a brand. And so when you put someone like a Just Hilarious on something, you already know that you're going to get automatic clicks because we're coming to see you off the top. When I came up, there was no social media, Charlamagne, at all. My interviews came through you. So my voice came through you. And so me being a part of a brand took away from the brand because y'all came to see me. And if you're breaking out as a designer, you're not trying to worry about the girl that's walking down the runway. We're hangers.
But you and Takara and like a Winnie, y'all found a way to brand yourselves. And Tyra always talked about branding. Like she always used branding, like even before it was a buzzword. So I feel like, did you learn that there at American
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, for me, and I can only speak for myself, I come from South Central Los Angeles. I come from, you gonna hustle. That's part of who you are. After doing Top Model, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So Tyra said I wasn't good enough, and I won the show. I'm popping. Now I got to do the work. And that was one thing that I was never confused about. One thing that Tyra did instill in me. And I believe the rest of the girls, how much they picked it up or not. I think that they believed that as soon as you won, like, the stars would open and you'll get $1 billion in your bank account. They're like, no, the work never stopped. The work is 10,000 times more than anyone expected.
I won Cycle 17.
And what happened after that?
They took everything from me. My title, the winnings, they decrowned me.
Because they're like, you're going to be rich. I thought I won the fucking lotto. And every elimination, they said we were going to be a Revlon cover girl and all this shit. But then afterwards in post, they said the opportunity for a Revlon contract, an opportunity, like they erased everything. And I was like, wait a minute. And you have to understand, like when I'm sitting there waiting to win Top Model before they air it, and I see Tyra Banks' interviews and she's like, I'm going to manage her and all this shit. I'm getting fucking hyped, man. She told me it was going to be the next Giselle Bundchen, the next Heidi Klum, the next Tyra Banks. I was like, oh shit. And that Top Model was like boot camp to get you through the whole starting thing, right? And we'll get to how I was handled later with Janice Dickinson. Well, then they erased all that shit, but Entertainment Tonight found this clip that vindicated me, that she did say all this shit, that she fucking lied to me, man. Anyway, so I see everyone's mad at Janice Dickinson. She said mean words, you fuckers. Like, man up. You know what I mean? Man up. For me, Tyra Banks lying to me that I was going to be rich and a supermodel and being able to like help my mom and shit. That was way more mean than Janice Dickinson telling me I have big, ugly fucking feet. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can take mean words all day, motherfuckers. I understand if season 1 was like, oh, Janice was mean. But after that, how did you not watch the show and see that they're, you know, the judges were going to be assholes? And I get it. Like, you want to win. I understand. Me too, man. I wanted to win. So then you just jump. Yeah, no, Tyra was the nice judge. That's what's funny. She lied and shit, but she was the nice judge. She was like Glenda the good witch, right? She was. But let me tell you something about Janice Dickinson. Janice and I did a TV show together, a little walk on, you get a little blip of money. We do this TV show together and we're talking. And she's like, so what have they been doing with you? You know, Janice, what have they been doing with you? Like in my face. I'm like, dude, they're sending me to South Africa. I'm like, they've literally just thrown me in a model's apartment. I have no publicist. I have no manager. Thank you, Amanda, for the 310 stars. I'm like, I'm living in models' apartments. They're fucking robbing my bags. These models are fuck assholes, dude. Little klepto, shithead, third world countries bitches stealing all your shit. I am not kidding. They will fucking rob you blind. It's so bad. It was so bad. So I'm like literally living in a shit pit. It's awful. And I'm telling Janice, and she's like, why didn't you go to LA's market? You're a celebrity. Why are they marketing you like they just discovered you in a mall? You know how she does. And I'm like, they have a celebrity division. And I'm like, hello. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're not there yet. She's like, you just won a huge, huge modeling show. I'm like, I know. She's like, where are they sending you now? I'm like, they're sending me to South Africa. I'm like, they sent Elise to Hong Kong. And that's when I told Janice, I'm like, we're mega stars in Hong Kong. She's like, it hasn't aired in South Africa. They're memory holing you. They're sending you off there to die and be forgotten.
I had been on the show 2 prior times. Cycle 12, I didn't make it into the house, and I came back for cycle 14 and I placed top 3. I couldn't book work after cycle 14 because of how I was portrayed. People viewed me as, oh, she's ghetto. Oh, she's a bitch. Oh, we can't work with her. She's impossible to work with. I met this guy and he said, hey, do you want to make some money? Then he's like, okay, so we're just going to fly out to North Carolina and you just see how you know, like going out on dates. But when I get there, it wasn't that at all. It was, I did some things for money that I'm not proud of. It was escorting. I didn't even do it for a long time. I was gone a month. Collectively, out of the month, 3 weeks at best. At best. So it was a stupid decision that I made, and then it came back to bite me with them decrowning me, and it was awful because it kind of made me feel shameful. It made me feel like that I should be ashamed of this thing that I did, because now look, I'm being punished for it, when realistically I only escorted for 3 weeks. What people don't see on TV is that, like, I mean, it's insane, like the amount of bullshit that me and the other girls went through. There are times when we didn't get fed. We had to film straight through 15, 18 hours without eating. So we're starving. So then that plays on your mental attitude, because it's almost like they want us to go in there angry so they can have drama. So, okay, let's starve them. Let's withhold food. Let's withhold water, because you know how you get when you're hungry. Well, Tyra was not existent. Like, the only time we saw Tyra was at panel. And Tyra never came in to talk to us personally. When the camera stopped rolling, it's like she's a stranger. I used to admire her so much because I'm thinking she's just like me. She's tall, she's skinny, she was teased when she was a kid, she's from the hood, she understands me. And when I met her, I was very disappointed. You preach to girls, you know, you can come from a certain area, you can come from, you know, a broken home, whatever, and you can become successful. But that's not the case, because look at what happened to me. So basically every girl that has been through something that I've been through, and I've been through a lot, the death of a child, was an escort, got out of that, I mean, raped, whatever, you can name it, it's happened to me.
And there's different categories of things, because we messed up and did a whole bunch of things that we did mess up.
Is there one thing that stands out to you that you look at as a regret?
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a regret. I think it was just wrong. So maybe even stronger than regret. There's many things. A lot of it is, telling somebody that they needed to change something, because I had model agents here saying, these 3 girls could really, really work, but this must change. So there was a whole behind the scenes thing happening. But instead of me like saying, you must change this on TV, I think what I should have said is, you're beautiful, because I personally, beauty, the person that is championing beauty inclusivity sees the beauty in the difference. I talk about it all the time. Agent is doing this to me. Right. I should have just said, you handle that off screen.
When do you think that kind of disconnect with Tyra started to happen? Like, where was that, I guess, fallout?
Well, it was, I think there are many things that contributed. I recently spoke about, and people did not know that actually when it got to cycle 8, my contract was done, and I felt like I had done all that I could, and now there were so many cooks in the kitchen. Initially, I was just doing the creative and hiring the creative talent. Then there were some controversial shoots I wasn't comfortable with. So by the time I finished my contract, I said I was ready to move on. I was working on other shows. I was an e-correspondent. And she became very, she basically just said, I'm disappointed. And that was it, and kind of cut me off. And even outside of the show, we would almost talk every day, and it was very weird. But then about 2 weeks out of production to cycle 9, just kind of under pressure, they said, could he come back and just do 1 cycle of the show? And I was unavailable. And then it was kind of, it was presented to my lawyer at the time from the studio. Well, if I didn't come back, I would be putting them in a difficult position because they couldn't cast someone to replace me. And it was intimated that I wouldn't work for the studio again. So again, these kind of threats and this fear-based culture built. And I went back under pressure to work on the show. And she later admitted she behaved inappropriately, and she did apologize to me. So I want to preface it with that. But I walked onto set to shoot casting. It's just Miss J, her, and me. And she wouldn't talk to me unless the cameras were rolling. And you try and tape a whole cycle that way. And it was extremely difficult. And I think that changed things. And she did apologize, but then there were other things, a lot of things that contributed to kind of the shift. And there was a shift in culture behind the scenes. And
you were a judge on season 1 of America's Next Top Model.
Yes. I don't really think that you need all that eye contact, side to side to side to side.
Because of pageantry. You look at the audience and you try to bring the audience to you.
This is not pageantry. High fashion is not a pageant.
It's just being evaluated through a much different lens.
So that probably was a hot mess.
It's being
compared to
it's being picked apart
today.
for some people call it problematic, and the way that we spoke to women back in the day.
I am angry inside. I've been through stuff, so I'm angry.
Yes, but it's not. This is not. Be quiet.
Be quiet.
I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this.
There's a twist. We are actually going to switch your ethnicities. Brittany, an African-American woman. Kenya, Korean.
Do you really think you can have a cover girl contract with the gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why not?
This is all people see. It's easier, he's beautiful cover girl.
I feel like when I started with the show, and it was the first show, and I was very good friends with Tyra. She was in my wedding, she's my kid's godmother. It was a little bit different maybe than how it ended up so many seasons later. And I do believe it had like a tremendously successful run. It did, and she did. And I think probably as time goes on, it takes on a life of its own, so to speak. But it didn't start out that way. It started off really as something that was aspirational and that women wanted to do. And I mean, young women and young girls were breaking their necks to be a part of this or to be picked or come to these cattle calls. Now when I hear things that are said about it, I'm like, okay, I can see how you would say that. Like most of the things that were said, I think, and again, I don't know if we're on the same algorithm, but I'm like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that happened. Someone did that, yeah. And maybe not in season 1 because you're just getting started.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of fact. And again, I didn't hear everything and see everything, so then don't clip it next to something that I didn't see and then say, yeah, that's factual. But there's a lot of fact in that. And just in what's being said.
It was not a great work environment. And I've worked in several different kind of entertainment shows and live event shows, and I'd never really experienced that. So it was difficult. It was really difficult. But I did go back because some people say, well, why did you go back? Because then I went back, they asked me to come back
for 4 more, and then you end up under contract, and you're just
Totally,
and you can't speak about it because people are like, why are you
and then
talking about it now?
right, and people give you shit for it for leaving. It's like, don't bite the hand that feeds you. You become the bad guy if you leave. So and it's crazy now because at the time we didn't know, but now we kind of have heard these rumors and these stories that have come out from years ago of kind of the toxic environment on set and things that were going on.
Girl, you walk like you on crack. Your eyes are so bugged out of your head, like something just scared the hell out of you.
Yamara, you did look like you were possessed.
Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm definitely getting off social media because somebody is posting in comments and made an Instagram solely of a video interview that I did with Oliver Twixt, basically saying that I consented to everything, I'm a liar, blah, 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 blah. Basically, like just a gotcha, trying to do a gotcha moment with me.
He's like, oh, whoa, the hot tub works. What? Me, April, Mercedes had this conversation before we got in of like, let's behave ourselves. So then as I saw Mercedes, and then like I looked at this dude and he looked at me and he just like grabbed me and I was like, let's do this. And then April's like, I gotta go, I have a boyfriend, bye, which is what I should have done, but that's not what happened. So when they said, hey, what do you guys think about, those guys that you rode on the Vespas with when you first got here and you went to all the go-sees? What do you guys think about inviting them over for dinner and like drinks? And we were like, duh. Yes, especially because like the guy that drove me around was so hot and we had such a great connection, but he didn't end up showing up.
Mind you, she was in a relationship.
It was like the other guys. So I was a little disappointed at first. And then because it was also like, testosterone that like people, like dudes that we could interact. And they're all super
to all male college. So just imagine my struggle.
Yeah. And they were so nice. So, I don't think I ate that night. And then I think I had 2 bottles of wine by myself. And then somebody's like, oh, whoa, the hot tub works. What? What are you talking about? And then they were like, oh, let's get in. And so like, we get in, and then I see like Mercedes, and we had, you know what's crazy is me, April, Mercedes had this conversation before we got in of like, let's behave ourselves. So then as I saw Mercedes, and then like I looked at this dude and he looked at me and he just like grabbed me and I was like, let's do this. And then April's like, I gotta go, I have a boyfriend, bye, which is what I should have done, but that's not what happened. And then it was cuckoo craziness. And didn't really remember anything too much about it until I started sobering up later, which is where you see me like on the side of the bed crying because I'm like, oh, I'm messed up. Like, oh no, and it's on film. Like I can't, it was so many, like that's why I was just like crying hysterically because I'm like,
I have a couple of serious questions to ask you.
Sure.
My first question is, of course, everyone in the comments on YouTube, Instagram is like, did you have sex? Did you have sex? Of course,
poor Eric.
Couldn't control myself. Like I really couldn't. He was there and I had all this tension and let it go. I just let it happen. Okay. Just tell me. It was the worst possible thing I could do.
You had sex?
Yeah.
Why did you?
I don't know.
What do you want me to do? What can I say to this? You think about how we wanted to be together forever. And then you throw it away. You stupid bitch.
Sandy, you weren't watching that. I saw you looking down. How come you can't watch that?
I just can't do it.
Really? It brings back like all the old stuff.
Oh yeah.
So everybody wants to know, are you still with your boyfriend?
No, I'm single now.
You're single?
Yeah.
Why did you guys break up?
Well, he couldn't get over it.
He couldn't get over that. But you guys were together for like, I remember after you were together.
We stayed together for another year. And then, you know, I also couldn't get over the fact that he couldn't get over it. You know, we just couldn't move past that. So it was just a mutual thing to let go.
But how are you doing now?
Oh, better. You know, it gets better every day.
Yeah.
So.
Poor Eric. Poor Eric. And you know what? I'll be the guy to say, when I was watching it, I was like, is Miss Eric one of the girls? Is she one of the girls? Like, is she a part of my clan? Because she's giving Shandy a lot of energy right now.
Eric was the most supportive person after that happened.
Oh, dope. Good.
After had the, you know, he had his emotions, that emotional phone call, and he got all his emotions out, and there was all the snot and the crying. I was able to talk to him again on the phone, and he was like, hey, I'm sorry I called you bitch. It's just, you know, I know you're going through a lot of shit, and you're super stressed out, and you let your, you know, it got the better of you. Everything got the better of you, and you're just a human being, and I miss you, and just get your shit together and win. And I was like, I'll try. And I tried.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what did happen between you and the guy, if you want to?
We ended up having sex for like 5 minutes in bed. And then I think we also were making out in the shower, but I don't really remember that. I just remember getting dragged out of the shower by production. I don't remember why.
So now, my next...
I think the production guys were so freaking awesome.
Oh, well, dope. That's good.
They were amazing. Like, especially the guys that had to film that phone call.
And when I actually left the show after cycle 18, they wanted me to sign on for cycle 17, 18, 19, 20. And I said, no. We went back and forth. My contract was done last minute. I went back into 2 cycles. I knew those were my 2 cycles. But of course, I had a clause in my contract where I couldn't talk about things or that I was leaving. And so 6 months later, when that show is airing, then it's leaked that we're then fired for the next season. It was all, let me tell you how the leaks work. They're planted.
Yeah.
And we were all agreed to do a professional joint press release. So, when your colleagues treat you that way, and then you can't say anything legally, and then there's this leak, and you can't talk about that it's leaked and that you actually left the show, it really puts you in a very... It's really sad after doing 18 seasons of the show and working together like that and building the show initially, as a small group. It's hard when you're treated that way. And
everybody is talking about this documentary. It is like, I don't think it's on everybody's lips. And it has been 14 years since you all left Top Model. Wow, 14 years. And
Has it?
I know it's like it was yesterday, but then I ask all of you, I'll start with you, Nigel. Why did you feel it was important to share your story right now?
I quote someone, it's time. No, I mean, realistically, it is time. I mean, it is 20 plus years since we started the show.
Yeah.
It had a huge resurgence during the pandemic. People watched it almost more so then than they even did when they watched it originally. And they watched it with new eyes, fresh eyes, eyes of today. And so there was a lot of new judgment and what have you. I've got 2 children who are, one's 20, one's 17. And when they see the sort of things that were said and done back then, they completely wouldn't fly today.
Right.
As dad, you're explaining what and how, all the things, right? But at the same time, you're sort of trying to also let them look at it with sort of kindness, and the same way as if you look at yourself in a picture of your hairstyle from the 80s, you're like, I would never do that, and you're like, well, but be kind to yourself, because at the time it worked. And it's not as if we were all trying to hurt or upset people all, in that show. We were actually trying to give people an opportunity. But yes, it clearly went off the rails.
Thank you. Cheer up, waterheads. Looking all sad.
Come on. Good luck. Come on. Oh, girl, you gotta stop.
Breaking my back.
Can you guys stand in front of me? I just want to say one more thing too. Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you. You've been through anger management. You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition. And you go over there and you joke and you laugh. This is serious to these girls. And this should be serious to you.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm hurt. I am. But I can't change it, Tyra. I've been...
Yes, you can.
No,
You can't change what?
I'm sick of crying about stuff that I cannot change. I'm sick of being disappointed. I'm sick of all of it. I'm not.
You're
Thank
not sick
you.
of being disappointed,
Yeah,
Tiffany.
Obviously, I am.
No, you're not. If you were sick of being disappointed, you would stand up and you would take control of your destiny. Do you know that you had a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that? And then you come in here and you treat this like a joke? You come in here and look at that and say, I can't read that. You read 10 times better than half of those girls over there.
You did. You did.
And you come in here with a defeatist attitude.
I don't have a bad attitude. Maybe I am angry inside. I've been through stuff, so I'm angry.
Yes, but it's not, this is not, be
Okay,
quiet,
but
Tiffany.
everybody
Be
don't
quiet!
listen.
What is
I'm
wrong
not
with
trying to
you?
act, but you're not-
Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. When you go to bed at night, you lay there and you take responsibility for yourself, because nobody's going to take responsibility for you. You roll in your eyes and you act like this because you've heard it all before. You've heard it all before. You don't know where the hell I come from. You have no idea what I've been through. But I'm not a victim. I grow from it and I learn. Take responsibility for yourself.
The most famous, iconic moment of the entire series is Tyra screaming, saying,
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Tyra really scared all of us. Like, we literally jumped out of our seats. What is happening right now?
what is going through your mind when this is happening? Did you have any idea she was gonna blow up?
No, we had no idea at all. None. I mean, it clearly showed that she was on edge, because to explode in that manner, unexpectedly, on camera, and I don't think it was deliberate. I don't think she had planned it. I think she literally exploded. Now, Tyra really, really cared about every aspect of the show, and I think it truly bothered her so much that there was clearly, she had a sort of snap.
Be quiet! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. I just wanted to change this woman's life. I felt like she could have been a supermodel with a capital S.
I actually thought they were going to stop it. If you're going to go off the rails, we're going to allow it and we're going to film it.
If you like ran across the street after COVID and ran into like Ken Mock or Tyra, what would you say? Or anyone from Top Model?
You know, I did a show that I think is coming out like in February. Pretty big. It's pretty big. And I like went on there and I was like, come fucking after me, Ken. Nah. You know, like it's at that, you know, it's kind of like this. Okay. Hear me out. This will come full circle for Top Model. You ready?
Yes.
It's kind of like, you know, when they say like, it's kind of like that bad uncle that like fucks you, but then puts you through college, like rapes you, but puts you through college. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like when you graduate college, you're supposed to just like be thankful and be thankful to your uncle. Right. But then you realize after you got money and you went to college and got your profession and you're doing okay, then you get therapy to work on all the things that like made your life so hard and such a struggle. And then you realize, holy shit, like my uncle like fucked me that whole time, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's wrong. Like, I can't, like, what if my uncle does that again to this person or that person or that person or that person? That's fucking horrible. Like, just because I actually got through college, like, doesn't mean that the next person will. Like, that person could commit suicide because of that. Or that person can then become an abuser because of that. Like, that's the cycle that will just keep going unless I can break the cycle. Like, fuck that. Like, thanks for the college. But what you did is really fucked up. And I'm not going to let you do that to anybody else. Like, that's how I feel.
what show do you have that's coming out that's really big, where you say "fuck you" to Ken Mock and Tyra and Top Model?
Well, I didn't to Tyra, and I really don't. I don't know. I can't speak for Tyra because Tyra never confronted me like Ken Mock. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like super ill feelings towards Tyra yet because I can't confirm what she knows and what she doesn't. I'm assuming that she does because it's her show. She did do that on her talk show. Never mind. Yeah, she sucks. I forgot about that.
Like she knew you were locked in the closet for 12 minutes.
She had to have, right?
I mean, I would just think on the Tyra Banks talk show, there's nothing that happens that she doesn't know.
Tyra, if you're hearing this, why the fuck would you lock me in a closet for 12 minutes on your show?
There are a lot of people who would say that, looking back, you look at America, you look at The Biggest Loser, you look at America's Top Model, you look at Dance Moms, and the stars of the show were heavy-handed, and some people say abusive in the sense that they really went after the contestants. But that was kind of the drill. And when people go on a show like that, especially, I think you were on season 5, you kind of know what you're getting when you sign up.
That's not true at all. We signed on to one season, one cycle that was going to air in the United States. America's Next Top Model was very much directed in its time for Tyra to help us with a dream. It wasn't to just be on TV. It wasn't like the Real World. It wasn't like The Amazing Race where it's just a competition to win some money and do a scavenger hunt. This was way different. And that's where I'm going to stand is in regards to the ethics of this all. Where's the humanity? I'm sorry for the curse words, but like, where do we stop?
Well, as I was going to say, I mean, you're talking about how abusive this was, but 12 years later, or not 12 years, but 12 seasons later, you went back on.
Going back on All Stars was probably the scariest experience I have ever had in my entire life. I was either going to, and if you remember, there were so many girls that actually went down really horrible paths, including committing suicide or becoming drug addicts or landing themselves in the wrong crowd. I'm really happy that I went back to change my life. And I did show the people, the fans that really loved me, that were paying attention, they also understood and they were really proud of me. And I'm proud of myself because guess what? I won.
Mr. J, why do you think, you're coming forth now as well to tell your story? How come you feel it's important now?
For me, I felt it was just really important to share and have a conversation, a bigger conversation. Right. This was never about this documentary. I just want to be very clear. We signed on because this was supposed to be a celebration and a conversation, not a tear-down piece. I don't think Tyra should be vilified at all. And quite the contrary. I mean, I saw your show last week. Your passion was infectious. That is why I stood next to her and said, yes, I'll help you start this show. As a Black woman, and I had seen her fight in the fashion industry, which was ruthless. It's changing. Is it great yet? No. And so that is why we stood by her and wanted to do that show with her.
And so I love that you're coming now to share your story. And Miss J, you're talking now, and I love the side eyes and the looks. We get that. Oh my God!
We still got it.
This is like a yummy meal that you haven't had in a long time. Now, Miss J. So you are also sharing your side of the story. Why do you feel it's important now?
Well, it's important now to share and to say, I don't speak English.
You may not speak English, but that face is everything.
The face has always said everything.
Granted, mistakes are being made, or have been made, and but I was only there for the model Cheech.
Yes.
And then the judging. I have had experience that this guy's had yet. But who knows?
Are you trying to throw us under the bus? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
do. You see that? He can be shady even with just a few words.
Even with his friends. One thing that I think a lot of the fans noticed, Mr. J, was your strained relationship with Tyra. You guys have been friends. Like you said, you came on the show. You've worked with Tyra. You were really good friends. I'm trying to figure out, where did it all go wrong between you two?
For me, again, and I know a lot of people are just learning that I actually left the show after cycle 8. I think the documentary makes it quite clear. I didn't have any options on my contract. I wanted to leave on really great terms. I wrote Tyra. We had a pact where she said, let's never go through our people. Let's never do that. Let's just always communicate one-on-one, which I did. I honored that. And I said to her, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so glad that I could stand next to you and launch this with you. But as you've supported me and said, hey, you need to go do other things, I'm going to focus on those things. And again, I've never really even gotten that answer back because it was just a shutdown. And I just got that one email that said, I am disappointed. And the documentary shows what ultimately happened. And long story short, the network asked if I could come and do one cycle because they couldn't find a replacement for me. And then that was a very strained relationship because she wouldn't talk to me when the cameras weren't rolling. And today, still to this day, that really hurts because, you know, again, when I watch this documentary, we see prepared television Tyra, and I know the real woman. I know her struggles. I know what she has fought in this industry. That's why I really felt your passion. And we've had many, many private one-on-one conversations, and all of those conversations will remain private forever.
Right.
People ask me all the time. I have nothing bad to say about her. But I have to be honest about the journey that I went through on that show. And the difficulty for me, it really started around that race shoot. We just saw it in the trailer.
Right.
The race swapping shoot.
Where they changed everybody's race.
I'm glad you said they. Thank you. Because I hear every day, you did it. You did it. And Tyra has admitted, and actually, in that episode, when that judging hits 10 minutes later, Tyra says, this was my idea. I did this for the celebration for women of color. Now, when we first learned about this idea, look, even you tilted your head, you're like,
well, I mean, this sounds plausible to me, like she wanted to celebrate women of color and you weren't buying that.
Well, here's the thing. My parents grew up in South Africa under apartheid. And when it was first brought up in a meeting, I pulled our co-executive producer aside and I said, there's no way I could do this. My mom, there's just no way. I can't do this. I don't understand how we're going to paint a white model black. That is a celebration.
Okay.
So that's where the divide started.
It's the same concept as back in the day when at sort of Halloween, you might have dressed your child up as a Native American, right?
Yeah.
And you love the Native American culture, and you thought, well, how amazing they look. Now we know that would be completely the wrong thing to do, right?
Yes.
So there's so many things that were done then that we shouldn't have done. Now we look back and but it wasn't necessarily done through hatred or the wrong idea back at that moment.
I wanted to talk to you about this big America's Next Top Model documentary that Netflix is doing. I want to know, when you saw the trailer, what were your initial thoughts?
I think just like how the general public probably must have, I was also, I mean, I didn't hear about it, so I was equally surprised as everybody else. And yeah, I'm curious to hear everything that that's going to be on the documentary. So I will be just as clueless as everyone else watching it.
So you weren't asked to do
I was not
that,
asked,
right?
no.
Okay. Were you surprised to see some of the contestants who are involved in the documentary?
I mean, I just saw, I think, Whitney and Kia. I didn't really see a lot of other models from the other seasons, but I think it's just maybe they were looking for models that fit with whatever the story that is being told in the documentary is, and I understand that. I think it just somehow works with whatever that they're trying to discuss.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't take it personal at all.
Yeah, I'm wondering, you know, obviously a big thing that a lot of people have talked about is the way that the original show was edited.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious about your thoughts on if you think that the documentary will be telling the whole truth.
Yeah, I mean, I did see that the producer is also on the show, Ken Mock, and a lot of the judges are also on the show. And I found that interesting because I think Jay Manuel also wrote a book about Tyra, so I thought they had a rift. So that would be interesting. How they were. I think it's really cool that they were able to get everyone, especially on the judging aspect of the show, in the documentary.
Okay, I have mad respect for Tyra Banks. She is not sorry. She is not apologizing to you. That bitch is not effing sorry. She will not bend the knee. And I respect that. What, do you want her to lie? Lie and say how bad she feels? Everyone's coming to me and they're like, none of the judges were sorry. Why should they be? They're all loaded. Why should they give a flying, if they didn't give a at the time, they certainly ain't going to give it no. But mad respect for Tyra, because that's hard to push back on that many people trying to struggle session you. And she's just like, you, and do what I want. And I got to respect that. So I tip my hat, my lady. Keep on being yourself, which is someone who doesn't give a flying shit.
We went a lot of places, but sitting next to Tyra for hours and hours can be daunting because she didn't really like me. And we didn't really get along. And she never did Vogue. I did Vogue. She did Elle. I used to constantly remind her of that. I didn't really treat her like a producer. She kept saying, but I'm the producer of the show. And it was like, oh, yeah, right, whatever. So had I realized that the pick of each show was the choice of CoverGirl, which handed out the winners certificates and the winners $100,000 and the chance to have a CoverGirl contract campaign for a year, was chosen by CoverGirl and not the judges. So when I found that out, I was like kind of reticent to even speak up anymore because they weren't taking my valuable words of wisdom and applying it to who should win or who should lose.
So what, and listen, also Jay Manuel, his book, The Wig, the Bitch, the Meltdown, we had him on here.
Jay Manuel. There's a real winner. See, Jay Manuel was right up Tyra's butt crack. So, if you want to get in with Tyra, you compliment her 24/7 and you just have to be able to put up with that type of woman who only likes gay men. She did not like me. She didn't like other women. She only liked gay men.
Oh, wow. A lot was said and a lot was not said. I feel compelled to speak because ever since that speech aired last week from the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards ceremony, my DMs, why y'all acting up? There were so many comments asking all these questions, excited to see some beginnings of accountability, still mad because they didn't hear an apology, this apology that y'all have been talking about for years. And I wanted to share something with you that I shared with some women in the room at this awards ceremony. So what happened was I went to the bathroom once in the entire ceremony. It just so happened to be right before Tyra spoke. Her name wasn't on the program. Nobody knew she was gonna speak. It was just like unexpected. By the time I left the bathroom, I got caught in some conversations in the hallway, and then I thought, oh, now is a good time to do the photo studio that they had there. So I went to the photo studio. Tyra was sitting in the room, in the corner, with her, I think, publicist, and there was no one else in the room except for the 4-person camera crew. What? I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a real interaction with this woman since 2004. And the story that I had been telling for so long was a story of trauma. There were so many things that happened on that show, some of which y'all know. To be honest, the most shocking of which did not even air, but we're not gonna get into that, okay? What we're getting into here is forgiveness. This was such an amazing opportunity for me to finally close that chapter as I'm beginning a new one and to model grace. I was so excited in this moment to walk over to her, to reach for her hands, and to greet her with warmth, with gratitude, with love, something that I would not have been capable of. The couple of places that we've been in the past, we did not speak. Probably both pretended not to see each other. It was very awkward, very strange, very irresponsible. And most of all, irresponsible to myself. Because when you're continuing to blame someone for something, you're giving your power away. And I learned that the practice of forgiveness is for me. Can you please give me a tissue? Whew. It's for me. It's for me to be in my power, to know that my life is something that I am creating with every choice, with every dream, with every daydream, with every journal entry, with every conversation. I am speaking my life into existence. So if I keep telling the story of blame, then I'm refusing to take ownership. That I'm refusing to accept that everything that happens in life is not happening to me, but for me. And if that is true, then everything is serving me as long as I'm learning from it and growing from it. When I look back at my journey over these years, I'm kind of mad that it took me so long, but just so grateful that I finally came to this place of freedom. When I saw her, the old me would have been like feeling heat, you know, maybe my heartbeat would have sped up, or I would have tensed, or I would have had a conversation with myself about making eye contact, and well, if she looks back at me, then like all this energy wasted. And when I saw her, I was genuinely excited, and I walked over and we had a beautiful conversation. And no, there's no explicit apology, but you could see in that video, she's sick of people every once in a while bringing up these controversial clips from the show. And not for nothing, but some of the same people who are making these little videos and commentaries about, oh my God, can you believe this happened? Can you believe that happened? Back then, we were watching it and laughing and not really seeing anything wrong with it. Yes, things change. Like she said, we all evolve. Society as a whole is shifting. And so no wonder we as individuals are shifting. But let's not pretend that the show was not wildly successful because its audience base was right up there on the judging table with Miss J, Mr. J, Tyra, Nigel, Nole, all of them. The audience was right up there at that table judging, feeling good about knowing better that I can't believe she did that. We all evolve. We are all doing the best we can at all times with the resources that we have. It doesn't mean that we accept abuse, but we know that everyone is just trying to get their human needs met.
I know you watched all 3 episodes. What's your reaction to it?
You know, when I first found out there was a documentary, I was amazed. I remember reaching out to Jay Manuel, like, is this the same top model that we did?
Yeah.
Because how don't I know about this?
Yeah. And they didn't ask you to be on it.
They did not
that
ask me to be on it. It was very surprising. And then I watched it. And after I watched it, I was gobsmacked. I was in awe. I told Jay my mouth was wide open. To be a part of a club and not know what's going on in the club is crazy.
What exactly was it troubling to you? Was it, when you say gobsmacked?
And what
gobsmacked
surprised
can
you?
mean one can be great, or it could be something that, oh my God.
Amazingly horrifying for the stories. I've lived my experience. I've walked in my shoes. And though there is a level of relatability, one would assume someone having walked in the same shoes, I had no idea. Like, absolutely no idea. I have been asked about Tyra for 21 years.
Yeah.
No matter what project I'm doing, what I'm involved in, somehow Top Model finds its way in my interviews.
Because it's part of your resume, part of your life.
It is. It's absolutely a part of my life. But I didn't understand why it was such a topic every time I interviewed with someone. done 154 projects since
Right.
Top Model. It's been 21 years.
But when you look back at the show, what stands out to you? What stood out to me was how young these women were, these girls were at the time.
You were in awe when you watched it because you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, but it details many controversial moments, from the alleged sexual assault that happened to eating disorders to models being put in blackface, or one model who
Or bullied.
was people who were bullied, and incredibly troubling, one model whose mother was shot in a violent act was then asked to replicate that in a photo shoot.
Horrible.
Do you think that the judges and the producers had a role in creating this type of environment, even if you never saw it?
Absolutely. That environment could not exist without producers aiding and abetting what was going on.
Cara Jones was a big fan favorite for many, including myself. This is someone with a vibrant personality and a show of confidence as a plus-size model. She wasn't in this docuseries, but her story was, of course, a memorable one. And Takara Jones joins us now this morning from Atlanta. This, by the way, is Takara's first interview since the documentary was released. Takara, good morning. Thank you so much for being here with
Welcome,
us.
Takara.
Oh, yes. Good day, everybody.
Listen, I've been a fan of yours for so long. I just wonder, you know, when you watch this docuseries, did you feel like it was a fair portrayal of the show? How did it line up with your own experience on the show? I mean, did this in any way surprise you?
You know what? I was totally surprised. Oh, wow. It was tough. It was tough because it did not line up with my experience. And I think that is one of the reasons why I wasn't on the documentary, because I don't have anything bad to say about Tyra. So I think that's why I'm not in the documentary. And then when I seen that Eva and Yaya wasn't in the documentary, I was like, hey, I'm in good company.
Yeah, because as you know, Takara, there was a lot of criticism after that documentary aired. But even in subsequent years, during the subsequent to the heyday of America's Next Top Model, people rewatched it, for example, during the pandemic and started to point out things through the lens of the world that we live in today. There was a lot of criticism about body image. Specifically, in your case, after episode 5, you had to defend yourself several times when it came to styling, despite them knowing your measurements. For people who didn't see that, explain what happened and what that impact had on and off the show for you.
Yeah, I was one of the first plus-size girls to ever be on America's Next Top Model. And when I came in, the styling was terrible. They wouldn't have my size. They would pull out my clothes last. I wouldn't even have a rack. All the girls would have racks of clothes. They would have options. And it was like, here, this is what you're going to wear. I remember even when we did a shoot for La Perla, we had to do the lingerie. There was nothing in my size. I can't fit their bras, their underwears. I had to wear a robe. And I don't even know if the robe was the correct size, right? I think I was busting out of the robe. And then it was that time where the stylist pinched my back. I wanted to smack that. Fill in the blank, however way.
What do you mean? When you say he pinched you, you mean he pinched your?
No, she pinched me. She pinched me on my back, and then we got into it because she wants to tell me, do she think she can find a rack of clothes in my size? And I'm like, how? Why couldn't you? I wear clothes every single day. I get dressed every day, honey. I'm fabulous every single day. How could you not find clothes in my size? What is going on, darling?
I just wonder if some of those moments were painful because, you know, I think that you have defended Tyra in the past because, and I will never forget.
I always defend Tyra. I'm sorry to cut you off, Chanel. I don't have anything bad to say about Tyra because that wasn't my experience. But watching this documentary and seeing and hearing these stories absolutely broke my heart. You know, two things can be true at the same time, and watching some of the relationships that she had with the judges and not calling them, and how, you know, just listening to my fellow contestants, it breaks my heart. And that doesn't mean that, I mean, I don't take away from their experiences, and I think that's messed up. You know, I don't want to be, when you're in a relationship, you don't want your partner just to be nice to you. You want them to be nice to the server, nice to the valet, nice to their family, nice to your friends, you know? Just because my experience was nice, I don't excuse that behavior from the way that other people were treated. I think that was still unfair. It just wasn't my story.
His next top model, how are you doing working with Tyra? She can be a barrel of laughs.
Yes, I am sure she can be.
Wow! Oh, hang on, let me see if I've got any milk in here. Help yourself.
Listen, do you know why I'm in Los Angeles, besides seeing you?
Yeah, why?
As lovely and charming as it is? Because I'm looking for a job. Because I was fired by America's Next Top Model on my birthday.
Wow, well,
yes.
welcome to
Time did well. So, do you have a job?
Sure, yeah, you can do the ooh thing here if you want, or something. Well, who fired you, and for what?
Well, the way it was put to me... That's a large cup. The way it was...
Yeah, that's right.
Your chair is higher than mine.
Yeah, but I need a big cup, too.
I know.
There's still people here, you know.
But it's so easy to forget.
Yeah, that's all right. That's enough of that.
Anyway,
Now, who fired you from the...
Oh, wait. No. Well, okay, no, not who fired me. That doesn't matter. Somebody fired me.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you were... just give us a clue. When you were fired, did anyone do this? Did they say, you are fired, like that?
Hard to see over the phone.
Oh, the phone.
Yes,
Oh.
but the reason I was fired, just to be fair here, the reason I was told I was fired was because it seemed that America's Top Model had gotten too fat, and they needed to cut some fat, and the fat was me. You know.
You're skin and bone, women. There's hardly anything to you.
It's not that I was too fat. I
I
was
see.
the fat.
Oh, I see.
Paula Porvikova and Janice Dickinson, when they learned about you.
Let's not go there.
Well, I am going there. I am going to ask that question. Paulina Porvikova says that you lack respect for the co-judges. Janice Dickinson said that you were righteous. I mean, why do you think both of them had such negative things to say about their experience?
I don't know. Why do you think?
Wasn't there.
She doesn't want to go there. Why do you think? I don't know.
Jealous? Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you. You said it. I didn't say that word. You said it.
I love her smile, her condescending smile.
No. What do you think? You said it. Is that what you think?
I'm asking.
You said it. I didn't say it.
This is absurd.
She's not going to go there.
I think she just did.
No, you said it. I didn't say anything. You said it. Is that what you think? I interview people, Cynthia. So
Well,
I'm saying you said that. Why did you say that?
Because I think
say it.
every time women don't get along is the first thing people think. And sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not true. And I think that that's part is that they're jealous. It's your show. It's not theirs. But when two of them say it, you wonder whether there's a problem behind the scenes.
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.